I'm going to be solving this word problem, which involves fractions. Pause the video and read through the problem, and then I'll show you my solution. You could solve this problem purely numerically, thinking about which operations need to be used and using them carefully. But you could also use some of the other problem-solving techniques we've talked about, including using a well-drawn diagram. Here, it makes sense for me to draw a picture since there's something visual happening, a blanket which is being destroyed slowly by Cleo over a period of several days. So here I'm going to draw the blanket as it originally was. And what I'm going to do is shade the parts that Cleo destroys. And I'll keep track of what was destroyed when. So we begin with, on Monday, she destroys 1/3 of the blanket. That's 1/3 of the original blanket. One of the things to keep in mind when we're solving any problem involving fractions or percentages or ratios is what is the unit that this is a percentage of or a fraction of. In this case, the 1/3 is 1/3 of the original blanket. So I've shaded the 1/3 that Cleo destroyed on Monday, and I put a little M there to remind me that was the Monday's destruction amount. For the next fraction, the 1/4, it's not referring to 1/4 of the original blanket, it's 1/4 of what was remaining from the previous day. So what remains from the previous day are these two pieces, and we'd like to have 1/4 of those two pieces. Of course, I can see halves now. One piece is half of the two pieces. To see quarters, I could, of course, just subdivide. So since all of that was destroyed on Monday, I'll label that as being Monday's destruction amount as well. So what was left over, instead of being in 2 pieces, is now in 4 pieces. And she destroyed 1/4 of those 4 pieces. So on Tuesday, Cleo destroyed one of those 4 slices. So on Monday, she destroyed 1/3 of the original blanket, and what was left over, we split into 4 pieces, and Cleo destroyed 1/4 of those 4 pieces. On Wednesday, she destroyed 2 times as much as what she had destroyed on Monday. On Tuesday, she destroyed 1 little square, so on Wednesday, she must destroy 2 squares also. So now we can answer the question of what's left over for Thursday. On Monday, she destroyed 1/3 of the original blanket. On Tuesday, she destroyed 1/4 of what was left over. On Wednesday, she destroyed twice as much as what she destroyed on Tuesday. And now what remains is just 1 little square. 1 little square in the blanket that was divided into 6 pieces, or 1/6 of the original blanket is left for Thursday. If we're thinking about the ratio of the amount destroyed on Monday to the amount destroyed on Wednesday, there's a variety of different ways we could phrase the answer. We could say that she destroyed 1/3 of the blanket on Monday and also 1/3 of the blanket on Wednesday. So the ratio of Monday's amount to Wednesday's amount is 1/3 to 1/3. That's Monday to Wednesday. But of course, you could also see that as 2 pieces on Monday and 2 pieces on Wednesday, or a 2-to-2 ratio. That, of course, would also be correct. And this would also be equally correct to say a 1-to-1 ratio. For every piece that Cleo destroys on Monday, she destroys an equal amount on Wednesday. Of course, all 3 of these are equivalent ratios. 1-to-1 is equivalent to 2-to-2, which is equivalent to 1/3 to 1/3.